What's happening? It's your boy, the pimp. It's the pimp in the building. Boy, the fucking pimp in the building. The motherfucking pimp. I put fucking acetone on that shit and everything. Anyway, we gotta talk about some Shawn Ryan. Hey, listen. Out of all them people, despite the fact that he be capping, despite the fact that he's my EDC, my workspace. Well, he's a little bit less like that than the other ones. I'll give him that. And he's one of the only ones that's like Nick Irvin that I sit down and have a beer with. And if he tried to bullshit me, I'd be like, Shawn, you bullshitting. I know you bullshitting. Stop trying to claim the street shit that you ain't never did. That shit about to backfire, kick you in the ass. About to happen. I don't want to see that happen to no Shawn Ryan. That's what I was saying. He was capping to begin with. I don't want to see Shawn Ryan get deported. We can't have Mr. Shawn Ryan getting deported out this bitch. But that's what looked like might happen. Because from what I understand, if you commit crimes while you're deployed and you talk about those crimes later, you could be charged from whenever. Because the military adjudication process worked different. I don't think it has a statute of limitations. And with all this shit that's going on in Venezuela, and even if there is a statute of limitations, him saying he have ties to some people down there, like on the ground with people down there, could make him a security risk. Especially given the fact he was a SEAL and shit. They could make him an enemy of the state. So it's just not something he should have been saying to begin with. And Megyn Kelly knew what her ass was doing, lining him up with that line of questioning. Without further ado, Iceberg Tarantino presents Shawn Ryan, the movie. I'll just be capping on the grand. Track hawk down, and that's how we gonna get the verse. Mr. Rapid Homosexual. I'm gay and in distress. The movie. So before we get into this here, some of y'all might not know who Shawn Ryan's is. Lion Shawn Ryan's, Lion Joe Bodies. Y'all might not know who that is, right? If you don't know who that is, it don't matter. Don't worry about it. Y'all might not know who or what a Shawn Ryan's is. And if that's the case, don't worry about it. It's not important for y'all. It's not for y'all. It's not for y'all. You know, it's for us, not for y'all. That is. You don't know who that is? I don't know who that is either, so don't worry about it. You know who that is, pimp. No, Special Forces podcaster. If you can believe that's even a thing. Who talks like David Hayter's version of Solid Snake. And he made some allegations. I know that they're not true, because if you try to do what he talked about doing and starting up your own little drug cartel as a gringo, as a white blanco gringo from fucking America, the motherfuckers in the favelas and shit down there in Brazil, Colombia, wherever, they gonna smoke down there is very, very locally protected. Oh, you could have been running for him. You could have a nice little import-export, but you are not going to be the big guy in Colombia if you're not Colombian. You will not be El Chapo if you're not Mexican. Anyway, so we're going to get into some of the bullshit he be talking about, but I just had to let y'all know who he was. It's really not important. So like I said, if you don't know who or what a Shawn Ryan is, he's this guy that looks like a penis.
One more option, and he told him about the helicopters. That no one
new main character. This guy, this new homosexual, massive homosexual patriot guy, is who shot Osama, apparently. Sorry, I just had to make that clear for the effect of the drama, for the context. You know, it's like I'm building a whole world here for you guys with this whole cast of colorful and very homosexual characters that I want to introduce you to. Like, I'm building this whole universe for y'all, so bear with me. Yeah. So basically, anytime there's a new character or a new plot or some character development, I'm going to let you know and introduce it, like, in a very theatrical way. Bitch, I be a vanguard, so deal with it. And if I took some bitch, deal with it. Fucking sex symbol.
And so then we just started training, and that was an option. So we trained there, It wasn't to, it was, to obviously to get to know the.
So this is #1 bullshit guy right here. Yeah, Shawn Ryan be lying in his raps and shit about shit that did not happen like that for him in Colombia. He do not have the same type of ways, there's the same type of plays that I be having. He don't got no motion, pimp. Shawn Ryan don't got that type of motion. Shawn Ryan got boats. That's the type of motion Shawn Ryan got. He got boats. He's in the Navy. I could sit there and I could drink a beer with Shawn Ryan and Obama. I would drink a beer with Shawn Ryan and Obama. I can't drink a beer with this guy. I don't even remember this guy's name, but he's bullshit. He's lying. He's fucking clearly lying. And he looks like a third grader who's lying while he's lying. This guy right here, #1 bullshit guy. Sorry, I must explain. You must understand this part. That guy, when he pops on the screen, #1 bullshit guy. This guy is Tim Kennedy.
Exterior. Tried to think of contingencies,
This guy is Tim Kennedy.
The helicopter could crash in the front yard. Would you bring that karma here?
Damn.
So and simply because he went this way, I turned this way.
This is the same hand gesture that a fiend makes when they're trying to tell you their grandma is in the hospital and that's why they need a front.
And standing 3 feet in front of me is Osama bin Laden.
And my dick ain't hard, that's a 30 in my pants. And Saddam had nuclear weapons. Nah, actually, for real, even though I was like 8 years old at the time, if I was on that plane when it was 9/11, I would have stopped 9/11. You can't see me.
And standing 3 feet in front of me is Osama bin Laden. And he's got his hands on his wife's shoulders.
Again, this guy killed Osama bin Laden, is probably a liar, and is a raging homosexual. He's very gay. And he probably actually didn't kill Osama bin Laden.
He's not surrendering. He's got to have a suicide belt. So I shot him twice when he was standing up. I shot him again on the floor, and then I moved Amal out of the way. So I can hear bin Laden taking his last breath. When I shot him, he fell to the foot of the bed.
Where'd you shoot him?
I shot him in the face 3 times.
Cleared to the door of the room, looked in, and he's basically twitching at the foot of his bed.
No, you see, I shot him in the head 3 times because I had to make sure he was really dead. I didn't think he would die if I just shot him in the head 1 time, or if I shot him in the chest twice and then in the head once. I didn't know, so I had to make sure I shot him in the head. He was on the ground, he was pretty much dead. I shot him again 2 more times while he was on the floor to make sure Osama bin Laden was really dead, because I wouldn't have stopped 9/11.
This was not a good period in your life.
You know about this?
Watch this. So back in the day, right, I went down to Colombia and I started my own cartel.
In your life.
You know
I
about
love
this?
how he says, you know about this. Like, he knows this bullshit and he's trying to sound badass. Oh, remember, if you see this, I like you. I fuck with you. And I'm only saying this shit about you bullshitting because I ain't want to see what might happen. I don't want to see no Shawn Ryan getting indicted on federal trafficking charges. I don't want to see that for you.
Nothing good happens in Colombia.
No.
What kind of operations?
Drug networks.
Do we extradite to Colombia?
Of War, Pete Hegseth, and all of this other stuff.
Boom, new main character, Pete Hegseth. Okay, so Pete Hegseth is former Special Forces, but he's like the girl who used to cut herself in school. From what I understand, he stays in his room playing World of Warcraft with the lights out and the curtains drawn. He lives like he's one of them paranoid crackheads, right? He won't even touch house phones, from what I understand. This is all shit I heard from this one channel out there. You could find it with this bald guy on it. Very emotional. Whenever he gets emotional, I'm the guy they call.
Let's look at what Shawn Ryan had to say to Megyn Kelly as his involvement back in the 2010s.
That's not a main character. This is Nikki MGTV. That's who channel I stole this shit from.
Don't understand.
Let's look at what Shawn Ryan had to say to Megyn Kelly in the 2010s.
This was not a good period in your life.
You know about this?
Nothing good happens in Colombia.
No. Nothing good does happen in Colombia.
No, I do know a little bit about your troubles. And that was a rough period for you. Explain why, and why Colombia.
Well,
Because I'm spinning a story for the cap out of my ass. I'm capping for the gram like I was Soldier with the Draco. So I was on this super high-speed, tactical, illegal mission. It was illegal. I was not told to do this.
When I was in the agency, I'd broken up with a girlfriend, and so I decided I wanted to travel. And I was just infatuated. I mean, those were all the documentaries I was watching when I went to the recruiter. That was the only thing going on at the time, was Panama and kind of the counter drug situation down in South America, which a lot of that was in Colombia.
Since documented in shows like Narcos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's all bullshit.
so I decided I wanted to go check it out down there, and so I just kept going back all the way past my time at the agency. But
So I decided to commit a long-term federal offense and an international conspiracy that lasted for several years.
I was going down there doing a lot of stuff that I shouldn't be doing, cocaine, and then once I left the agency, I kind of started building a network down there, and it was exciting to me. I
was involved in selling narcotics overseas. Ha 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 ha. Participating in an illegal drug trade overseas.
building my own network. Kind of felt like I was kind of running my own operations.
Notice how he says, I felt like I was running my own operations, not I was running my own operations.
So I want to be clear here. He is talking about running a drug ring. He's not saying, oh, I'm trying to catch bad guys. He's not saying, oh, I'm here to like try and infiltrate and act like some kind of vigilante in regards to being on his own without having any top cover from the CIA or from the Department of Defense at the time as a Navy SEAL. He is operating on his own accord. And what's crazy is Megyn Kelly in this interview actually confirms that and says, whoa, wait. You're operating on your own?
Megyn Kelly did him filthy in this interview.
Check this out.
What kind of operations?
Drug networks.
That was dumb.
And so I wanted to see how deep into the kind of narcos network I could get myself. And
But this was not for crime fighting,
no, this was
for crime committing.
pretty much. So I kind of started at street level and built a network out and went to clubs and met people and found my guys and started testing cocaine and finding the best stuff and I found it. And that lasted.
I like you, Shawn Ryan. I fuck with you. Out of all the people who do that weird shit you be doing, you one of the ones I actually kind of fuck with. You one of the ones I would sit down and have a beer with. As long as you wasn't bullshit when we sat down. You know what I'm saying? You one of the ones I can actually kind of stand. You know what I'm saying? So, I just ain't like that you were capping about that shit. I ain't like they were capping about that shit, bro. If you try to go down there and be the El Chapo of Colombia, you going to get smoked. Notice how he said it felt like he was running his own operations. He did not say running his own operations. I just noticed that now. And Megyn Kelly was definitely trying to line his ass up with that interview. Look, I want to see Shawn Ryan get deported. And given the combination of that video and then shortly after that, this shit with Dan Crenshaw, which Shawn Ryan not wrong for what he's saying about Dan Crenshaw either. I fuck with him for what he's saying about Dan Crenshaw. That's why I had to make this video. I had to make a positive-ish video because I know I'll be talking shit about that community a lot. I know I talk a lot of shit about that community. But Shawn Ryan, you know, it's all in good fun, man. I don't mean none of that shit. It's entertainment, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to see you get no trouble. I don't want to see you get deported. That's why even when you was saying that shit, I was like, even though I was like mad that you was capping, I was still like, but damn, what if he gets in trouble for this shit? So I just had to say that shit. I put this shit out there for all the kids and shit. The Navy SEALs and shit. I'm out there, bitch.